My goal today is in 6 hours' time, I want to have started a new income stream on Spoonflower using Repper to create my patterns. Hello everyone and welcome back to Sparrows and Business Diaries. Today I'm bringing you something a little bit different. I thought we would set up a new income stream together. I woke up this morning and it is a beautiful, sunny, crisp winter's day. I am full of energy for some reason, and instead of getting on with some of the work that I know that I need to do, I've got my distracted brain on. And actually one of the things that I've learned is to stop fighting it. And actually if I have a day like that where I feel like I can't get on with the work that I know that I should be doing, I actually let myself run a little bit wild. And today's running wild is going to be setting up an income stream that I have had in the back of my mind that I've been thinking about for well over a year, probably for over 2 years in fact, and that is to set up a surface pattern design business on Spoonflower. Spoonflower is a print-on-demand business, a bit like Redbubble and Society6, but it's not exactly the same in that it specialises in printing on fabric and wallpaper. And I've been working with surface pattern designs for quite a while now with the scrapbook paper and also with Redbubble, and I really wanted to give Spoonflower a go, but there was something that was holding me back, and that was the fact that you have to buy a sample of your pattern before you're allowed to sell it. And I don't disagree with that in principle at all. I think that that is a great way of people being able to check that their pattern looks the way they imagined it would look, and also to iron out any mistakes that there might be in the graphic that's been uploaded. However, as you'll know if you've watched this channel for any length of time, that I have been bootstrapping my way through building these income streams, that I haven't really spent very much money at all because I've just not been in a position to do that. However, that has changed, so there is a little bit of money around that I can reinvest into my different income streams. But more importantly than that, I have heard from other sellers on Spoonflower that they are actually scrapping the requirement to buy a sample. Now it's still there at the moment, and my understanding is that they are removing that requirement in January. And on top of all of that, I've also found out from Spoonflower sellers that there is something called a fill a yard option, which is where you buy a yard of fabric and you can add samples of lots of different designs onto that yard of fabric, and that works out a lot more economical in terms of how much money you're spending to get your samples to check your designs. So whatever happens, if they get rid of the sample requirement or if they keep it, I'm still going to go ahead with this income stream. The other element of this is I recently made a video updating you guys on how my scrapbook paper was doing that I had made using the Repper pattern making app, and just the process of looking up those results and making that video has made me even more interested in using Repper as a tool to make beautiful surface pattern designs, but then to also start small businesses or income streams based on those patterns that I create. My goal today is in 6 hours' time, I want to have started a new income stream on Spoonflower using Repper to create my patterns. Now it has to be done in 6 hours because I am stopping work at 5 o'clock today because I am going out to dinner with my partner. So that means I need to down tools at 5 o'clock. I do not want this to be a big thing. I've got lots of other income streams that I am concentrating on, but I kind of want to get it up and going, and I want to get 25 really good, well-researched patterns onto Spoonflower, and I want those 25 designs to be sat there ready to go in January, when either I will be buying the filler yard sample, or if there's no sample requirement, I will just be clicking them to go public. Now, in order to get this done in my 6 hours, this is a Friday, by the way, that I'm recording this. So in order to get this done in my 6 hours so that I am on time to go out to dinner, I have come up with a little plan. First of all, I'm going to focus on wallpaper because I find that quite interesting. It's not something that I've ever created patterns specifically for in the past, so wallpaper it is. So I'm going to spend up to an hour doing some research into wallpaper, and I'll tell you how I'm going about doing that in a moment. Then I am going to create what I've called the origin graphics. So the images that I am going to put into Repper to get the patterns to come out. And that will be a range of things, mainly graphics, possibly some photographs that I go and take as well. Then I'm going to spend an hour on the Repper app itself and just kind of pull from it my favourite patterns, the ones that I think will work really well on wallpaper. Then I'm hopefully going to spend 30 minutes just kind of creating my Spoonflower account, setting up the shop, coming up with a name, all of that kind of thing. And then I've got at the very end here 2.5 hours, because I'm not sure how long the upload process takes. For example, on Redbubble it's really fast. On Society6 you can be there all day just adding 3 designs. So I don't know where Spoonflower is going to sit on that spectrum of just how long it's going to take to get the patterns onto the website. So I've left 2.5 hours for that. That should give me about 6 hours in total, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 hours in total. And so I should have a new income stream by the end of the day, which is amazing. As you'll know from my last video, I do have an affiliate link to the Repper app where I get a little bit of affiliate income or commission when you purchase a subscription to the Repper app. It's at no extra cost to you, and actually at the moment they have a 50% off Black Friday deal, which should be in the description. That lasts until the end of the Sunday of Black Friday weekend. The dates and things will be in the description. If you're watching this video after Black Friday, there should still be a 25% off discount for you in the description box. So basically just go and check that out if I have piqued your interest in Repper from just showing you how I'm setting up an income stream in this video. So there we are. We have a plan. I'm gonna go and start executing it. Right then folks, we are starting our 30 minutes to an hour of research. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at the blog, artist tutorials, home decor inspiration, community, small business resources. Let's have a look at that. So small business handbook, what I'm looking for are, because I found these the other day when I was having a little nosy around the website, the trend report. So I am interested in this one here for autumn winter, because obviously if my designs are going to go live in January, I'm still going to kind of be catering to that winter market. But I'm also wondering if they've got summer, if they have a spring trend report, maybe. Possibly not. They seem to do summer and autumn and winter. Let's take a look at this. If this is what we've got to work with, this is what we're going to work with. So we'll have a quick scroll through. Warm neutrals. I'm just going to be writing down on a notepad the kind of things that come up. So we've got, yeah, warm neutrals, colours like, let's write down the colours, pink clay. Can you see that if I move the cursor? So pink clay, soft terracotta, ivory, beige, rich oak. Okay, so what else did it say? Nature inspired. Let's write that down as well. Nature inspired. You could just add this information to a spreadsheet or something, but I am someone who still likes to handwrite things in notebooks. So next up we are on Pinterest. That I've actually stopped looking on Spoonflower because there was already so much information just in those first few that I looked at. Do you see what I mean? Like, I don't want to keep going and come up with too many ideas. And so we're on to Pinterest now, and I'm just going to look up wallpaper in general and see what comes up. So this is what we've got on here. I think I need to get a little bit more specific. How to use wallpaper in a bathroom. I tell you what I have seen quite a lot of is, oh look, that's gorgeous. I would love to be able to design something like that. I would love that. That's not a repper type of pattern though, and I think that's what you have to bear in mind. Once you've had a little play around on repper, you can see the type of thing that it comes up with. So something like that is quite simple to do. Triangle scallops. A quick update then. So we have got to 12:15 and I have done all the research that I'm going to do at this point in time because I don't want to get overwhelmed with loads and loads of ideas. So I moved on from that and I'm now working on the designs or the graphics, the images I'm going to input into repper. I've done a few bits on Canva. Let me just remind myself of what I've done there. So I have created an olive green and beige or cream ticking style design. If you don't know what that is, just look it up. It's a type of fabric. I've got a sort of a neutral-ish, but not quite. I might have to adjust the colours. Polka dot pattern and a black and white polka dot pattern. Well, they're not really patterns yet. They are just something to put into repper and see what it comes up with. I'm working on something on Procreate at the moment, but my Apple Pencil has run out of battery, and I've also had to reteach myself how to do something on there because I use it so infrequently that I learn how to do something and I completely forget about it if I'm not practicing it and kind of embedding it. So while that is charging, and because I got a little bit ahead of myself with the research in that I stopped it because I'd already got enough ideas, I am going to take a break and finish a cup of tea, go and have something to eat as well for lunch, and then I'm going to come back and I'm probably going to work on, try and sort of come up with about 6 different things to put into repper and see what it comes up with. I am going to pop out into my garden because there are lots of autumn leaves out there which will hopefully make some interesting patterns. And then, yeah, I'm just going to pick one of those other things that Spoonflower say are trending and try and create some sort of graphic around that. So yeah, we're getting somewhere, and it's been really, really good in the sense that even though I have plenty of things to be getting on with existing income streams and small businesses and things that I'm trying to grow, there's always so much to do for them. For someone like me, a change is definitely as good as a rest. So rather than taking some time off today just to, settle my brain and refocus, I am actually doing something completely different and it's absorbing. I've been concentrating, and that has actually done me the world of good. And the fact that I'm setting up another small income stream is fantastic. I am learning about trending designs, which is really useful across the board of pretty much all the different things that I do. That's been really useful. And I'm also going to go on and learn even more about the repper app, which I am determined to make the most of in 2024. That's a really positive thing as well. And hopefully by the end of today, I will have an income stream that is going to be up and running in the new year. So I'm going to disappear for a bit and I'm going to go and have some leftovers for my lunch and then come straight back up here and carry on creating things that I can put into repper. So I've reached a point where I've got probably, I don't know, about half a dozen sort of like base designs. I've got some photographs. Actually, no, it's more than half a dozen because I took quite a few photographs. So I've got photographs. I've got photographs that I've then converted into graphics. I've got some really simple graphics that I've made, and then what's on screen at the moment, so this here is something that I've created in Procreate out of those warm neutrals that the Spoonflower website was talking about. So I'm just kind of moving things around at the moment. I mean, there's just so many options, but I'm looking for like a set of designs in these colours so that I can do the other thing that I was seeing cropping up on the spoon, that article that we were looking at on the Spoonflower website, which is this idea of like creating coordinating things. And I think here we've got a coordinating sort of colour palette, and yeah, I mean, it's just a question of knowing when to stop and knowing what looks good. I think I'm going to, I don't know, should I incorporate more into it? Make that bigger. I think it gets a bit too detailed then. I think, oh, actually something like that would be good. I think on the wallpaper maybe slightly less. Oh, that's quite nice as well. God, everything just looks so good. This is the problem. This is the problem with using this, is that you end up with such gorgeous designs. But what I'm in danger of is creating a lot of things that look so similar that it almost gives a customer too much choice. So I'm probably going to stop doing these in a minute. And this is just using, if you look at this drop down, I mean, look at all the different tiling options there are. Oh, let's have a quick flick through and see. Cross weave is quite good. Maybe something like that could be quite good. I mean, I'm not going to have any problems coming up with my 25 designs. I think I am going to switch out my image to something else. Right, so it is 10 to 2, so we are almost at the halfway point. I'm still playing around with Repper and trying to create some patterns and things. The colours aren't showing up brilliantly well on here, but this is just from a photograph of some kale in my back garden, and I don't know how much you can sort of tell how absolutely just gorgeous, like the colour palette, nature's colour palette is phenomenal. And I almost feel like I can see like the curly kale leaves in this still. I mean, it's just, oh, I love it. So I'm going to pick a few of these, and yeah, just I've got some more photographs to put in and see what happens from them. But yeah, I'm just blown away by the colour palette of this one. The next thing I'm going to do then is get the shop opened, named, and start uploading some of these designs and, you know, see what it looks like on wallpaper. Work out whether I need to increase the repeat or decrease the repeat, depending on what looks good on the wallpaper, the cushion covers, the fabric, all the different things that Spoonflower prints onto. Now, this isn't a tutorial video as such, although if people are interested, I could create like a tutorial or something about using Spoonflower once I've worked out how to use it myself. What I will do though is I'll show you every so often how things are progressing. And yeah, I've got 2 hours and 9 minutes left to get this shop up and running, and I did want to have 25 designs on there, didn't I, ready for January to either buy the samples of or not buy the samples if Spoonflower do go ahead with removing that requirement. Also, don't forget, if you are interested in Repper, now is the time because of the 50% off in the Black Friday deal. If you are watching this after Black Friday, still look in the description box, there'll be some sort of discount in there. If you can get it by this Sunday, you're going to get the best value for money. I have a new shop to open. I will be back soon. We have run into some difficulties with this. Well, they're not really difficulties, it's just part of the learning curve. I was uploading designs from Repper and I couldn't get them to almost like center properly on Spoonflower on the products and things like that, and I was making adjustments and things, and then I realized that actually the website was slowing right down and it wasn't keeping up with the commands that I was giving it. So that really did not help, but it did push me to watch a couple of YouTube videos about the upload process on Spoonflower, and I had pretty much got it figured out and got it right. We're okay, but we've lost quite a lot of time. Yeah, all in all, that has taken me a lot longer than I thought. I've only got an hour left, and my new problem is that my computer has slowed right down, Spoonflower has slowed right down. I think I could be on a bit of a hiding to nothing at the moment. I also found out from one of the videos that I was watching that to do the thing that I was talking about, where you get like a patchwork of all your different designs on a yard of fabric so you can check them all at the same time, the best thing to do is wait until you've got 42 designs, and then apparently you can get them all on this big piece of fabric. So I think that's my new challenge. It's not 25, it's going to be 42, so that, like I said, come the new year, if they remove the necessity to order samples, then I don't have to worry. I can just add the ones that I've got. I can kind of make them go public and have them up for sale. If that's not the case, and if they don't go ahead with removing that requirement, then I can do the yard of fabric sample and check everything over that way. So yeah, it's been interesting. I don't know whether to persevere now and kind of show you what I managed to get done in the next hour, or whether I should cut my losses and do an hour at another time. I'm just going to take a few minutes to think about that, and also just, you know, see how the website's working and see what my computer's capable of doing this late in the day, and I will get back to you. Right then, I am back. It's the next day, and I am going to do my final hour of setting up this new income stream. I really did have to stop because my poor old computer just couldn't hack it anymore. The fan was just making so much noise and everything had really slowed down, so it wasn't really fair on it or me to continue. But it has had an overnight break, and so have I. So I've been thinking about how to use this sort of final hour of getting as much set up as possible. I think I'm going to stick to my, like, trying to get 20 designs on there, 25 designs, and then I will probably build it up to the, what was it, 42 that the lady on the internet on YouTube recommended, where you can then go and buy like this massive yard of fabric that has all of your samples on it. I'm really hoping that they go ahead with not needing the samples, but even if they do, I'm happy to buy a yard of fabric and get 42 designs up and running on Spoonflower. So yes, so it's going to be focused on just uploading the designs first of all, because I've realized that you can add all of your designs and get them sized properly. Then you can go through and add all of your titles and tags and description and things afterwards. So I think what I'm going to do is just block it out so that I'm uploading everything, then I'm doing all the titles, then I'm doing all the tags, etc. And we'll see where we can get to in this final hour. Okay, so I'm halfway through that final hour that I've given myself. So this is like hour 6 of setting up this new income stream, and I'm learning a lot about Spoonflower's quirks, I can tell you that. And I also think that I'm learning some general things, like the very, very detailed patterns I don't think are going to show up particularly or print particularly well on the fabric, although they do seem to look really good on the wallpaper. So I need to make some decisions about that moving forward. I think possibly slightly just simpler, blockier designs will work better, but we'll see how we go. But I'm definitely going ahead with uploading as much as possible, making sure that they've all got titles. I'm not going to put descriptions in, and I'm probably not going to put tags in or anything like that, because I've got a lot of designs that come from like one single origin, either a photograph or a graphic or something I've put together. I will form like a collection around each of those different like original graphics that I've fed into Repper, but I've got too many for each one at the moment. I'm kind of uploading them all, like most of them, and then what I'll do is I'll go through all the products and all the patterns, and I'll pick out maybe something like half a dozen per collection, something along those lines, so I can kind of delete the ones that are less good than the other ones, and also whittle it down so I don't have loads that are the same. In hindsight, I should have done that in Repper, but we're a little bit too far into it now for me to go back and do that. So I'm just going to keep uploading, and then I'm going to show you what I've managed to upload into the shop and talk about what's still left to do and any hints or tips or things that I've learned in setting up this new income stream using Repper. Don't forget, if it's still in the Black Friday period, you've got 50% off with the discount code in the description, and using a Spoonflower as well. So I'm just going to go back to uploading and getting even more used to Spoonflower as a platform. Well, this is as far as I managed to get in my 6 hours of learning new things and trying to get something set up on Spoonflower. I've got nowhere near as much done as I had hoped to get done because I got held up at various points by some of the sort of quirks of Spoonflower and worrying that I was doing something wrong, and then realizing that I actually wasn't, and I'll explain a bit more about that in a moment. So what you can see here then are all of the designs that I've uploaded. I haven't sort of organised them into collections or anything yet. I haven't even given them their proper titles. I've just put something in there as like a holding title. And so there's lots of these navy blue sort of Art Nouveau style ones. We've got a couple of the sort of green, olive green and beige watercolour kind of patterns. That one is there. And yeah, some of these sort of slightly more psychedelic ones, I don't know, that's got the wrong title on it. That's more of a just like a green pattern there. And then this was the one that came from the kale photograph in the back garden. So yeah, there's not a huge amount that I've managed to put on here. But I tell you, the thing that was holding me up no end, this is a prime example here, is I was just getting really, really worried about the fact that the tile or like the repeat that I was uploading wasn't centered properly. I mean, that one isn't centered properly either. That one isn't either. Actually, I don't think any of them are. And I kept thinking that I was doing something wrong. And then I typed in, and yeah, this was it. This was the page that I got up. And I was sort of looking at it and I was thinking, oh my goodness, look, that one's centered. So I must be doing something wrong. And then I looked down and I realized that these other ones here, so this Inner Busy Victorian Garden one, isn't centered properly in the square. This one isn't centered properly in the square. That one isn't. That one definitely isn't. Look, the diamond's kind of off to the right a bit. It's possibly something to do with repeating patterns that I don't fully understand, but it is probably also something to do with the way Spoonflower are displaying things. So I looked at this one and I thought, right, this one is all perfectly aligned in the square. This should look fine on all of the products and things. And then I looked at this which gives you an example of a cushion, and it doesn't center properly on the cushion. I think you call them, well, it says pillows, doesn't it? I think in the US you call these pillows. In the UK we call square cushions. I just looked at that and I just thought that is winding me up something chronic. I can't bear that, because when you go onto Redbubble, you can move the design around on the product, and you can also, like, I think you can click a button to center it. It's been a while since I've uploaded on there actually, but you don't get this, which is just ridiculous. But when someone's buying a piece of fabric, it's fine, because whatever it is that the customer is making, they can line the pattern up. You know, they can center it and line the pattern up exactly how they want it. So in terms of, and it all seems to work fine on wallpaper as well. So as far as sort of fabric and wallpaper and things are concerned, it's fine. But it seems to be when you get to the products, it's not so fine. Let me see if I can find another example. Was it this one? There was definitely something that I clicked on earlier and I just sort of looked at it and I thought, oh my gosh, that's not, actually no, I think that one is lined up properly. Yeah, see, that one's lined up properly, and yet over on here it's not. And so I think there's something going on with how the patterns are repeated and how they are displayed. And it has reassured me to see that actually this is something that happens with lots of people. This isn't anything that's particularly unusual. So I am just leaving kind of everything as it is. It might be that I discover one day what's going on, and maybe discover that me and some other people are making some mistakes when they're uploading things, but I can't see at the moment anything obvious. So I'm still feeling inspired. I think there's still quite a few things to learn. I've definitely learned a lot from doing this. Let me see if I can find my, oh yeah, view my shop. So I don't think anything will show in my shop yet because I haven't made anything public, but this is what my shop dashboard will eventually look like. So I've called my shop Pattern Cabin. I need to create a header for it and a little, like a logo or a profile picture or something like that. And then when I make my design library, I think that's what I click on. So it's just finding your way around a new website. But when I make these kind of public, they will show up in my shop, but people won't be able to buy them until I've either ordered the samples, or if what I was talking about earlier, Spoonflower removes the need for the samples in the first place. But yeah, so I've still got loads more to upload. It's a fairly quick upload process once you have got your head around the fact that this being over to one side thing seems to occur quite a lot, but doesn't seem to be a problem on the printed fabric and on the wallpaper. And this is what the upload screen looks like. So you can adjust the size of the repeat on here. You can also have a look at what it looks like as wallpaper. So it's some pretty bold wallpaper there. Definitely feature wall. Oh yeah, this is the other thing that I've learned as well, is the really bold patterns with a lot of contrast look fantastic when you're just looking at them on screen, but then when you see them in situ as wallpaper or perhaps as a cushion cover, you realise that actually more subtle colour changes would probably work better and would be more appealing, because if you think the wallpaper is going into real homes, it's not something you're just going to look at and say, oh, that looks pretty or stunning or whatever on screen. So I think I'm going to try and make versions of things where the colour contrast isn't so great, but I definitely feel like I can make some really nice quality patterns and fill the shop up and see what appeals to people, see if I get any buyers. Right, so we are back and my 6 hours is up, and what I've just shown you is basically what I've managed to achieve in that 6 hours. It feels like I haven't done anywhere near as much as I wanted. The light has changed in this room, so I'm really sorry about that blown out, overexposed little section behind me there. I have made a start. I guess you could say I have started a new income stream, and it's most definitely using Repper at the moment. I think I will probably add in some other things as well, some other elements that I have perhaps drawn and kind of created myself. I don't know enough about Spoonflower's terms and conditions and things like that to give any kind of advice about whether you can use artwork created by somebody else that you have purchased a commercial license for. I didn't look into that because I know that everything that I've put in has come from me. It's come from photographs of my garden, it's come from doodles and things that I've made on Procreate, so I haven't really had to worry about that at the moment. And there's still so much that I can add on here before I need to even think about adding in anything that someone else has created. So yeah, a reasonable start, a big learning curve. I've learned some things about Spoonflower that I like and dislike, and I guess the more I get into it, the more I will continue to learn. I will create some more videos in the future so that you can see how I'm getting on with things, and I will pop a link into the description box below, because I think what I will do is I will keep one Spoonflower shop as one that I perhaps use for tutorials or kind of share with you guys so you can see what it's all about, so you have something to look at by someone that you are familiar with. And then I will start a separate one that is under a different name that I actually keep private, so that I don't have lots of people kind of copying things and having a look and changing my conversion rate so that it looks really, really bad, and things like that. Like, those of you that make money online and who make YouTube videos know exactly the kind of thing that I am talking about. There we are, a new income stream set up and almost ready for 2024. If you like the look of it and you like the kinds of things that I've been able to create using Repper, don't forget we've got the Black Friday deal of 50% off. If you miss the Black Friday deal, then you'll still get 25% off with my all year round deal that I have as well. Let me know in the comments section what you think of this whole process that I've been through in the 6 hours. Do you think that this could be the kind of income stream that you might be able to set up? And if you have any questions about Spoonflower, anything that you want me to investigate on your behalf, then make sure you add that into the comments as well. I will see you in the next video.